Good day, everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today we are going on a gravel bike adventure, which is going to take us on Indian Road, which runs from Arroyo Seco to Hunter Ligett. It's about 18 miles of dirt. It's unmaintained, very remote, very rough. We're going to do an out and back today. You can take the road all the way to the Big Sur coast by riding through Hunter Ligett and then continuing on to Nacimiento-Ferguson Road. This road's going to climb up through forest, and then we're going to be on a ridge top where it's very beautiful, and then it will descend into Hunter Ligett. So let's get going and see what it's like. As we begin up the road, you can see the gorge down there, the canyon. And the first part of the road is pretty well traveled, well maintained, and then it just gets a little beat up in the middle, and then as you get towards Hunter Ligett, it gets a little better again. See the gorge down there? It's where people like to hike down and swim. The road runs right along it for a while. Okay, so once we get to about mile 2.5 on the road, we come to a hiking trail that goes down to what's called the Horse Bridge. And that's river access, or access to the gorge for folks that want to make the hike. And that's, for summer users at Arroyo Seco, that's kind of usually the destination for them. And they will usually hike in there the 2.5 miles one way to the trail. And oftentimes they'll bring a wagon or a cart loaded with ice chests and beer and whatnot. And then it's hot and they can go down to the river and hang out. And you can actually go up and down stream in the river. The gorge walls are straight up, but you can, if the water's lower in the mid or later summer, you can swim along. And you can also jump in the river and just work your way all the way back down to the campground. This was the same place that you came from. On that topic, I would point out that the ride that I'm doing today is not one that you'd want to do in the summertime. And the reason is that there's just no water out here and it can be super hot and miserable. So it's best done in the spring, winter, or fall. So it's currently mid-November and it's about 60 degrees, and it's actually very pleasant riding weather right now. Okay, we're on the climb now, and it's a pretty pleasant grade. At this point, the surface is quite smooth. The main climb on the east side, which is the way we're going up, is about a little less than 2,000 feet in total. And the average grade is not severe, but there's some fairly steep sections, but all very manageable. And it's absolutely beautiful this time of year. Alright, so we're about 2/3 of the way up the climb now, and you can see the road ahead of us, and you can see the cutout at the edge of that ridge in the distance, and that's where we're headed. There are sections of trail where the rocks have tumbled off the cliffs and made it a little tricky and narrow to get through. But it's generally passable. no gravel ride would be quite right without a hike-a-bike section, would it? And this one has obliged. Okay, we crest out at about 2,800 feet. And after that, we're through the rocky section. Then we come to this kind of grassy section that's relatively flat. Basically, we're kind of cruising along the ridge. And there's some sand pits along here, but it's pretty rideable. After the grassy section, the road widens up. And as you can see, it's either end of the trail is in pretty good shape, or the road, I should say. But in the middle, it gets the rock slides and whatnot become a problem. But it's all rideable, except maybe the hike-a-bike section. Okay, so this ride is 19 miles one way from Arroyo Seco to Hunter Ligett. And at the 12.5 mile mark is where you come sort of to the end of the ridge, and it drops off steeply down to Hunter Ligett. And on this ride, we have decided to just go to the overlook at the 12.5 mile point, have lunch there, and then turn around and head back. So we'll do the 25-mile version rather than the 38-mile version because we're a little short on time. But I do have some photos from the last time I did it down there, so I'll try to insert those in so you can see what that downhill looks like. It's actually, the whole thing is really pretty, so it's, if you do elect to ride down the hill, you'll really enjoy the views down there and the climb back up. It's a pretty good climb, but plenty doable. Alrighty, so that's a wrap for the Arroyo Seco Indians gravel ride. The road is unmaintained and it gets a little tricky in some areas, but it's pretty much 100% rideable. There is the hike-a-bike section, which is really short, but that's rideable too, although I chose not to. It's a really fun route, and so we did the 12.5 mile one way, It's 25-mile total out and back, and did not drop down to Hunter Ligett. Hope you enjoyed the ride, and if you did enjoy the video, please do like and subscribe, thumbs up, and until next time, thanks for watching.